Hi everyone. Hope everyone's having a really good day. Today we are going to be talking about the child trafficking going on in Virginia Beach, Virginia right now. The last few videos were about Jana Naderman with Toscano Law in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And with those 3 videos that were posted on Facebook and on the YouTube page, I believe, there is a link attached that explains what they're doing, who they are, and how they're doing it, okay? And there will also be a link attached to this one. That link has been, it's a document, and it's been shared. I mean, last week I've shared it in 50 different places, and I will continue to do that. And I will continue to make these videos. Because my child is in danger and your children are very much at risk to be in the exact same situation, as are you. So let's talk about Jonathan Brown. And let's talk about what's happening right now. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. Now, all of these little cluster videos, I'm going to try to keep short, but I can promise you that eventually, once I've covered a little bit of general information, I will be going back and elaborating on some of the things that I'm saying. The videos will get longer. There will be more of them. There will be plenty more of them until my daughter is safe. That's how we're going to do this, okay? So, Jonathan Brown is, he's a CPS worker in Virginia Beach. And he was not who opened my CPS case when this whole started. So what Jennifer, Josh, and Jana Naderman with Toscano Law in Virginia Beach, Virginia did to me for committing 0 crimes whatsoever, keep in mind, I did nothing. I have never abused my children, ever, not once. I've never even raised my voice at Mona, ever. We had a amazing relationship until these people came in, made me homeless, and then manipulated my child to fear me for some reason. It makes absolutely no sense. They groomed her, and it was grooming that I observed for myself outside of one of the courtrooms one time, and I will make a video about that too. I would rather not bring my kids into this too much. They have already done enough to my children. These people need to be exposed because they're dangerous. Specifically, the public officials that we're talking about. I'm talking about the attorneys. I'm talking about the guardian ad litem. I'm talking about child abduction services. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who make up lies to traffic children for insurance fraud, and we're going to talk about that too. So the woman who opened the case, she was fired or whatever, like a month later. And from what I understand from an attorney that I spoke to last summer about the whole thing, that case was opened completely illegally anyways, as I already was not living with them. I had already said, can the children stay with you, Mom? That was back when I called her Mom, while I get back on my feet. Can that happen? And she said yes. Of course she did. It was all in her plan. So I had already not been, when Chris and Jennifer made these crazy CPS claims, I had already not been, the children had already not been living with me for well over a month. I mean, I was in my pickup truck. Like, they didn't even have contact with me, really. Hardly at all. Jennifer and Chris cut it all off before any judge ever got involved. The claims were completely erroneous. They were completely manipulated, and it was, even if any of the things that they said had been true, it wouldn't have mattered, because what the lawyer told me 2 summers ago was, because I was not living in that home, and I had already said, can you please take care of the kids, while I get back on my feet? Obviously, I am a good mother. I'm not going to make my babies hang out in a pickup truck. I don't think so. Not because you people are criminals. No, We're not going to do that. We're not going to punish them like that. That's insane. The whole thing is insane. So she was fired. I don't remember her name was. And Jonathan Brown came in. I was actually very excited to see new faces. Every time a new face came into this case, I was like, thank God, someone who has some sense, hopefully. I mean, they're supposed to have sense. They're hired by the state to be protecting your children, not stealing, abducting, or trafficking them, right? And every time it is just so, the only person, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, I'll say it again, the only honest person in that courtroom was the judge. And she didn't know. She wouldn't have known. She would have had no way of knowing. Every lawyer was lying. CPS was lying. And I can prove that they were doing this for... Anyways, so Jonathan Brown comes in. And I have all the emails and the correspondences between him and I will show you exactly how he framed me to look so mentally ill when I wasn't at all. And I'm still not. I'm psychologically very well put together, surprisingly. It's a shock. After the last 3 years, there's no reason that I should be this psychologically healthy. But we can go through all of that. We'll do that in another video. We'll go through all the emails, and I'll show you exactly how he framed me and exactly what happened. But we don't need to get in there right now, because like I said, I'm trying to keep this short. What I want to talk about is insurance, okay? When Jonathan Brown handpicked Dr. Tuesday Smith, who is not a medical doctor by any stretch of the imagination, okay? She is about as much of a medical doctor as you or I, which is not. We're not. Handpicked her. I remember him saying to me about Medicaid, because during that time I was on Medicaid and I had the SNAP benefits for food. I had been on that for about a year now because, I had been on that since I left military housing. So it hadn't been quite a year yet. It had probably been like 6 months maybe. He made sure, you have Medicaid, right? And I said, yes, I have Medicaid, He goes, okay, well, good, you're going to need it because the judge ordered this parental capacity evaluation from doctor. The judge didn't know. The judge doesn't know that Dr. Tuesday Smith is not a doctor. The judge does not know that. Most people don't know that because she presents herself in a way that you would think she was a medical, even in her writing. And I don't even know if she's the one. We'll get into that too. We have a whole bunch of videos coming up. We're going to go through every court document. I'm going to show you every lie. We're going to go through it all because this is dangerous. I'm telling you, you are in danger if they can do this to me, if they can traffic my children, someone with a psych background, a psych education background, frame me to be mentally ill, try to poison me, and steal my children. I promise you they can do it to you. I promise you this. Especially if you are in the lower socioeconomic status. If you don't have money, you are not an individual in these people's eyes. I have been treated like I'm not even human. I have gotten no rights. My constitutional rights and my God-given rights have been just stripped of me. I don't mean anything. I'm not a person. I only have, $2 in my bank account. What? I mean nothing. I'm nothing. That's how they see it. People are numbers, unless they have a lot of numbers in their bank account, and then they're people. That's how that's going to work. Well, it's how it does work. So I remember him saying, you're going to need this Medicaid. And I said, well, I have Medicaid, I've been on this, whatever. Okay. Now, this was when I thought that I was speaking to a doctor, when I was speaking to a medical professional. I don't know how. I just remember, I don't know how Dr. Tuesday Smith is billing Medicaid right now. Medicaid that your Virginia Beach tax dollars are paying for. But I can promise you that it isn't honest. Because we are also going to go through my own parental capacity evaluation done by Tuesday Smith. We're going to break the whole thing down, and I'm going to tell you exactly. I will show you exactly what she did, how she did it, and why it's illegal. Why she can't do that. very illegal. And outside of the criminal activity, immoral just doesn't seem like a strong enough word, right? It's manipulative and it is predatory, is what she's doing. She is not to be trusted. That woman is not to be trusted. Dr. Tuesday Smith with Smith Psychological Services, which I don't know if any person can just go in and see her. I think something tells me that she gets at least 90% of her clientele from CPS. And I can promise you that she is getting paid to paint people in a way that does not reflect any kind of reality of the situation in order to scam Medicaid, right? And she gets money from that. And then Jonathan Brown and Jana Naderman get to traffic these kids to their abusers, okay? That's what's happening. They're doing it for money. Crimes on paper for a fee, so Jana Naderman specifically, yeah, sure, we'll call it an attorney fee. Yeah, okay. That was a fee for a crime. That was clearly a fee for her to commit multiple crimes on court documents because she is so trustworthy, I guess. She was paid to commit crimes on court documents to abduct my child and traffic her to her abuser. That is exactly what happened, and that is exactly what is happening right now to this day. Now, there's something else I want to talk about to this day. About a year ago, okay, I haven't, in October, so in the end of this October will be the 2-year mark of when the case ended. 2 years when the case ended. It's been about 2.5 years since I've seen them because my children were withheld, like I said, before any judge ever got involved, ever. Completely just cut off all contact. I was no longer allowed. This was all Jennifer and Chris did this. They said, you're no longer allowed here. And this was kind of out of the blue. Like, I showed up there to ask to go to the bathroom, and Chris called the police on me. Literally, that's exactly what happened. I showed up there. It was like 9 o'clock at night, maybe a little later, I don't know, to ask to use the bathroom because I was living in my pickup truck while they had a vacant room that they later rented out to my abuser. Yeah, while I was living in a pickup truck. That's Jennifer and Chris. Okay. I showed up to ask to use the bathroom and was told to leave and that I didn't belong there and I was no longer allowed in that neighborhood or on that property. For what? I don't know. I have no idea. And then he called the police, and the police came up on my truck while I'm just sitting there quietly crying, trying to figure out where to go. I did not know. I have not been treated like a human being. But anyways, so 2 years. The first year after the court date ended, I spent a lot of time reaching out to Joshua, trying to fix everything that I could, trying to placate everyone to just end this. I didn't care what he wanted. I don't care, Joshua. I don't care. I just want this to be over because it's insane and unhinged. This is crazy and not normal. And the fact that you're willing to steal your daughter's mother is atrocious. And for nothing, just for greed, because you didn't want to pay child support. That was it. That was why. People are going to think, about that annulment, people are going to think, 10 years. He annulled it because he didn't want you to get any of his retirement. No. Because over a year before he filed for the annulment, we had signed a separation agreement where I forewent. I specifically signed, no, I know we've been married for 10 years. I do not want any of your retirement. You can have it. I don't want it. I had already signed that away, okay, in our separation agreement. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time behind the scenes. And it's frustrating. Another reason that my comments are turned off is frustrating. People are like, you should handle this. off, whatever. Yeah, I agree with you. I should. I would love to be able to do that. And I tried to do that for a year. Okay? A year. Nothing. Nothing. These people are horrible. They don't care. So this is what happened. What I did was I started an Instagram called When CPS Fails. I haven't really added to it too much because I've started the new page and some other stuff. And I started the Facebook page When CPS Fails. Jonathan Brown got wind of this. And I know that he did. And I'm going to tell you how I know that he did. Because I had Medicaid, I had food stamps. Not even a month after I had made that Instagram, okay, my Medicaid was canceled, as for my food stamps. I have applied since 5 times. 5 times. Now remember, I am chronically ill. I have no income. I have nothing. Nothing. Jana Naderman made sure that I was left with absolutely nothing. Jana Naderman, with Toscano law, helped my abusive husband make me homeless and disabled, and now I have nothing. And now I can't even get Medicaid, even though I'm still just as sick. My living situation has not changed. My health situation has not changed. My financial situation has not changed. 5 times I've applied. He's going in there every time he sees my name. I don't know how he's doing it. Look, I don't know how he's doing it, but I can tell you how I know it's him. I don't know how he's doing it, but every time my name pops up, he goes in his little computer somehow and messes with my file or moves it or deletes it. Or, and this is how I know, the third time, this is how I know it's him. The third time I did not get it, I was told it was because I needed to change my name. Nothing has changed. I had this Medicaid, this SNAP benefits for over a year, and then it was all of a sudden canceled. And all of a sudden I couldn't get it because I was told I needed to change my name. And do you know what name they had for me? Gross Nickel. And do you know who hasn't called me Gross Nickel in 16 years? Nobody, except Jana Naderman on my court documents, because that's not my name. My name is Grigolite. On my court, and we'll go over that too. Like, I'm going to be making a lot of videos where I will show you on my court documents where on the same document, I am referred to by 2 completely different names. On the same document, okay? And that was what they said. That was the reason, was because of Gross Nickel. Nobody would know. Nobody at CPS, nobody at social services would even know that my name was once Gross Nickel unless they had been a part of that CPS case and read those particular court documents. And that's how I know that Jonathan Brown is the reason that I don't have any medical care right now. I have 0 resources. I have nothing. I had to sell my paid off truck that I was living in to survive because Jana Naderman let an abusive military man in Virginia Beach, Virginia, make his disabled wife completely homeless. That's what happened. Jana Naderman. And if you are a military wife, or any kind of wife, actually, any kind of stay-at-home mom, there is a threat here in Virginia Beach that you don't even realize. And it's against you. She will make you homeless. And if, God forbid, there's anything wrong with your body that makes it a little bit difficult to make money, she will not care. She will then traffic your children to their abuser, to your abuser. Jana Naderman in Toscano law in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So there's something that I need really badly right now, medically. My doctor, the doctor that has been treating me since I moved in here, when he was first treating me, remember, I did have insurance, right? He did all these tests, treat me for whatever. In the last year, I have not had insurance. And he has still been helping me out a little bit with like medications that were from previous diagnoses, with like testing and everything that doctors are legally meant to do. Dr. Tuesday Smith, she doesn't know anything about that. She doesn't know anything about diagnostics, or it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I am telling you right now, if you are in Virginia Beach and you are not the sole breadwinner of your family, of your nuclear family, you could be homeless. Jana Naderman will make that happen. She's done it. She did it to me. Look at me right now. So, there is a test that I need. And it's a Sjogren's test. I need this test because over the last 2 years, a few different weird symptoms have popped up that are pointing towards Sjogren's syndrome. And I need this test very, very, very badly so that they can treat a lot of the things that are going bad quick with me, such as my eyes, my voice, my hands. And I know that you guys can tell that my voice sounds different. Sometimes you can tell I'm hoarse right now. I really need this test. Furthermore, I would be able to get disability very quickly with this test, but I cannot. The doctor who is helping me, my doctor, can only do so much. He's only one person. These testings are very expensive, and I need Medicaid. I have called Medicaid in tears, telling them what is going on. They don't care. There's nobody. One of the big problems we have with social services is that they don't really talk to each other, but they have the ability to manipulate the files in other departments. That's a huge, huge fucking problem. Okay? It's very dangerous. I need Medicaid. And I had it. And it was taken away from me because I chose to exercise my First Amendment constitutional right of free speech. Because I chose to warn all of you. And you do need to be warned. You need to know. You need to be aware. I wish I had known. I had no idea. I grew up here. This town raised me. I had no idea. So we're going to end this year. It's gotten way longer than I ever intended it to be. And I'm going to take a little break. And I'm going to come back. And I'm not sure what the next one is going to be about. I have so many ideas. I don't know. I'll probably just figure it out when I sit down. But please read the document. Read the document that I have attached to this video. It is important. It's not only important for me and my daughter, it's important for you and your safety and your future. You need to know that these threats exist so that these people don't do this to you and your babies too. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, as always. And I will be posting many, many more. Like I said, there are medications that I need that I cannot get, and I am doing the best that I can. Now, what is the reason? I don't know if Jonathan Brown is doing this specifically just to be spiteful. I feel like Jonathan Brown is withholding Medicaid from a disabled girl so that I will have a more difficult time exposing his crimes. And it's working. I would have been able to do all of this much sooner. It's all going to take longer because I live in a sick body and you have refused me access to medical care, Jonathan Brown. Jana Naderman with Toscano Law is helping you do it. I'm a good person. I'm sorry that you targeted me, and I'm sorry that you created this weird narrative in your head to commit your crimes for the greed and whatever payoff you're getting. We already know what payoff Tuesday Smith's getting. We know what payoff Jana Naderman's getting. And we know the social payoff that Leilani Adams is getting. Honestly, I think Teresa Berry just might be too old to be in any profession. I didn't have any interactions with Teresa Berry, the guardian ad litem. Never spoke to me, not once, not one time, not one text message, not one email, not one anything, until it was over. Then she talked to me. Now this is the woman who was supposed to be giving an unbiased opinion about where these children should go. But she never made contact with me once. Not even when I requested it. Nothing. It was rigged. My case was rigged. I was framed, and it was a setup from the start, and the judge would have had no way of knowing because she should be able to trust the lawyers in her courtroom. They should be respectful enough of that judge to tell the truth. They should be respectful enough of the Constitution of the United States to tell the truth. They should have enough morals Do not traffic children and sell them, and tell the truth. I wonder what kind of car Janet Ehrman drives. I wonder how much my baby's psychological well-being is paying for these days. That would be interesting to find out. Anyways, thank you so much. And I'm going to take a break, and then I'll be back. We're going to talk about something else. Maybe we'll get back into Jana. Maybe we'll talk about Leilani. Maybe we'll finally talk about Emily. We have a lot of stuff to talk about with Emily. Emily's not a lawyer. She's just a drug addict who's raising my daughter. So, anyways, thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Click the link. Read the document. It's important.